Hello and welcome to Pre-Gaming with Bordzy, brought to you by Sherwood Ford, the Giants. Can the Oilers finally win a game on home ice? More on that tonight at 11. Hello and welcome, everybody. I see some folks in the chat, and shocker, Rusty is in with the first comment of the day with a simple, let's go Oilers! We've also got, that was nice, boys. You even hit the same key right there. Saskia Oil fan is in, says, let's string some W's together. That would be nice. I could really go for a win streak these days. I'm joined tonight, as you see on your screen, the one, the only, Sean Panganiban, writer here at Oilersnation and just stand-up dude in general. I've had you on the show before. I loved you. Brett loved you. The chat loved you. So you're back on the couch, Pangs. How are we doing?
All right. Thanks for showing some love, and you kind of like my jokes, I hear, so that's kind of cool too. And I thank you.
You're a vibes guy. You're a vibes guy once again. Last time he came here, Brett, I think he brought 3 bags of chips. Today, only 2, but they were the elite bags of chips. Shout out Miss Vicky's.
Yeah, you brought the 3rd bag.
Actually, we're back.
We're back. We're all
totally
the way back. And you also said that you were at the grocery store the other day, saw the I believe honey Dijon mustard, and hello. And yeah, you even got them. So Pangs, you have a lasting impression here already.
Thanks, guys. I mean, I like how you said Dijon too.
Yeah, I noticed that too. Dijon, but okay.
Henrik.
Oh, I see we got Dre back in. He says game day woo, Sasky, just with Bordzy. Sasky, what's up, brother? What's up? Patrick's in and says, cup year, baby. As you notice, producer Brett behind the scenes tonight. It'll be all 3 of us all evening long right here as well, live after the game for Oilersnation After Dark. Make sure you are subscribed to the ON YouTube. If you're watching on Facebook, you're watching on Twitter, you're watching on Instagram, go head over to YouTube, subscribe, like the video, and get in the chat, because who knows what we're going to get tonight. It's either going to be a very happy chat or a very negative chat. Never really seems to be any in between. But Pangs, it's been a week, 2, 3 since I've had you back on the show, and it's been an up and down year so far for the Edmonton Oilers. Special teams issues, goaltending inconsistencies, and injury to the best player on planet Earth. All of those things not going to be great. Overall, though, 7-7-1 through 15 games, 500 hockey. As we all know, 1 year ago today, Chris Knobloch was hired by the Edmonton Oilers, and everything started to turn around. But I'm curious to ask you, as a guy who also follows the team religiously like I do, that what to you has been the biggest surprise so far this year? For me, something I didn't see coming is obviously the special teams being, forgive my language, dog shit to start this season. I think I may have had higher expectations for Jeff Skinner and Victor Arvidsson, but we are only 15 games into the season. But there you see the head-to-head team comparison this evening. I said, shout out Pat, he makes these graphics. He couldn't let us be tied with yellow on each side as he threw it with their 13%. But look at that. Somebody has a worse power play than the Edmonton Oilers. What has been to you, though, Pangs, the biggest surprise, the biggest shocking thing so far? Because when you look at those special teams numbers, my God.
Yeah, I think you nailed it on the head. That the power play. Are we 3rd last in the league? I believe something like that.
Yeah, we're somewhere. It's bottom 3. It's bottom 3rd. I'll tell you that.
And you know what? Special teams as a whole, with the amount of firepower the Oilers have, you do not expect them to be that low in the stat or that low in the rankings on the PP, and especially with the PK on how that was probably one of their biggest strengths in the Stanley Cup final last season.
What did we kill, like 26 in a row?
Yeah, something like that. And they were just a threat consistently to score shorthanded too. Absolutely, the specialties is a huge disappointing surprise.
And it's like, right, the inconsistent goaltending. I don't know. I probably could have told you that was going to happen to start the season. Call a spade a spade. Sometimes Stuart Skinner is like that. I mean, an injury to your top player, you never like that. But it has been those special teams. So I ask you, is tonight the night that we finally break through? Because there are some underlying numbers this evening that give me a little bit of confidence, at least on the special teams. The Oilers and the Islanders both come in with struggling, both special teams units on both sides of the ice. The Oilers, they come in 24th ranked power play at 15.8%. And that is vastly improved from where it has been. As we remember in the last game, McDavid got a power play goal. They might have had one more had Leon Draisaitl buried a couple seconds earlier. I digress. The Islanders PK, though, it's a get-right spot. They're 30th in the NHL at 65.6%. Furthermore, the Islanders power play, 28th in the NHL at 13%. And the Oilers PK, we know, the worst possibly ever in NHL history, currently at 59%. So something's got to give tonight, right? Either one of these units on both sides is going to have to turn things around. Hopefully, the Oilers can build off some momentum in their last game. I said, I'm counting it as 2 power play goals in that last game, a couple seconds before Dry had scored, the power play ended. We also saw McDavid bury one in the third period, right off the draw. Super simple, back to Ekholm, back down low, and Connor scored a pretty greasy one that, frankly, we will take as a power play unit right now. We're not asking how, we are asking how many. So I ask you so often, and especially in a game like this tonight, right? Islanders don't score a lot of goals. They have an elite goaltender in one Ilya Sorokin. Sometimes special teams is the difference, especially in these close margins of victory, playing that good defensive style. Let me ask tonight, is the power play going to get right or not? There's too much hesitation. I didn't like that.
You know what? I to align with the way Brett said Dijon with a French accent, I'm going to say, oui. Tonight is the night that they do break through. And the reason being, one thing I observed last game, their first power play unit, they got the stars, the skills to make elite plays, and they've proven in the past to be able to execute them. One thing I noticed last game was the first unit was making the high skilled plays, looking for the backdoor to Dre. However, like you mentioned, at the tail end of the power play, they just got the pucks on net. So it seems maybe the game plan is, hey, the first minute, try your plays, but then the coaches want them last 20 seconds, get the puck to the net, and as a result, they scored 2 goals that way.
I like that. Let them cook a little bit, find their game for those first couple of minutes. And then, yeah, when you got Bouchard on the point, I tell you, that guy hasn't scored a power play point, I believe now, in 7 or 8 straight games, more than he did at all last season. He had 35 power play points last year. I pray that the special teams will turn around tonight, but that's exactly what I'm doing. I am just praying. But it's going to happen. It's going to happen. Lineup, though, tonight, we are expecting it to be the same as we started the Vancouver game, because Jeff Skinner, by the end of that one, was benched, demoted, whatever you want to say. He was playing on the 4th line. Nuge had come up at points. Janmark was playing on that 3rd line. Jeff Skinner only had 12 minutes of ice time Saturday night against the Vancouver Canucks. But tonight, he stays up on that top unit. RNH continues to center that 3rd line. So we'll start with Jeff Skinner here, because it's been an up and down season to start for him as well. He came out of the gates red hot, 4 points in 5 games. And I believe his last 10 games, he only has 2 points on the score sheet. He's been bumped up and down the lineup. Now he is a new acquisition. He needs to find time, like Nobby has allowed Victor Arvidsson, Vasily Podkolzin to stay up there with Leon Draisaitl for a couple games, and they have found their game. Skinner, thoughts on his start to the season so far? He's getting his shot on the top line. I think I saw it earlier from somebody in the chat. Forgive me if I don't. Oh, there it is from Amanda. Jeff Skinner better play like his pants are on fire tonight. I hope they got the message in the last game, his first, division rival game against the Canucks, and he got to watch a lot of that game, but he didn't get to play in a ton of it. What do you think about Jeff Skinner tonight, sticking on the top line?
That's interesting you bring that up, because after last game, I was starting to struggle to understand where he does fit up in the lineup. Yeah. That being said, give him an extended look with McDavid.
If you let RV and Pods do it, you got to let him do it too.
Absolutely. And over the last couple games, there have been sequences where him and McDavid showed good chemistry, but it's interesting. There was this one play last game where it was he got the puck to McDavid at the offensive blue line, and it was a 2-on-1 chance. And if that's Zach Hyman or Nugent-Hopkins on his wing, McDavid's passing that, he shot it and missed the net.
I know exactly what you're talking about. Yep.
So to me, it's like maybe he just needs to, I don't know, feel more a part of the line or something like that. I'm not too sure, but it was just interesting.
It's right. It'll come with time. And in theory, he is a guy that shoots the puck like crazy, and that will work with a playmaker, play driver like Connor McDavid. But once again, it's so much easier said than done to play with these superstars like a Leon Draisaitl, like a Connor McDavid. Skinner had a great quote the other weekend. He said, "What do you do with 97?" He goes, "You just try and think 2 steps ahead," because that's how he operates, and he's always 2 steps ahead. That will come with time. A guy who knows how Connor plays and has had a lot of experience on that line is number 93, Ryan Nugent-Hopkins. Now, he'll stay on that third line, playing the 3C role with Adam Henrique and Connor Brown. Now, it's been a couple games in a row here where he's been there. And it's been a weird year for Nuge as well. He only has 1 goal, 6 assists, 7 points through 15 games played, but he is now kind of locked into that center spot as opposed to his regular left wing spot, where I do think at this stage in his career, Nuge is a better winger. And I don't know where you come out with it. You got to pick a Rico or a Nuge to play wing and center there. I'm okay with Nobby experimenting to see what works. I think I'd like Rico to go back down the middle of the ice. Who knows? But last game, that line, now I guess Nuge wasn't on it, I believe, when they scored some of those goals in the third period. But in general, that line, we've talked about Rico needing to perform more. Connor Brown needed to. And what do you know? My boy scored two goals in the same game. That would be unheard of, batshit stuff if I told you that last season.
He did?
Brett, don't look at me like that. He did that again to me earlier today. Brett, you're troll. You're a real life troll lately. But that trio, I think they are starting to improve. And you mentioned to me before that you've seen some plays and some expected goals numbers that maybe are telling us they're going to start cooking a little bit more here.
Yeah, just in line with Knobloch's theory of if you get 5 or 6 expected goals, you're bound to score very soon. That was true with Connor Brown. I posted on Twitter, hey, he's going to pop pretty soon. Lo and behold, he scored 2 last game.
Couldn't send me a text that he was going to score 2. He couldn't let me know.
With Nugent-Hopkins, since he last scored, he's at like 7.29 expected goals, and Henrique's at like 6.56 or something like that. They're very close, but they're way overdue to score. So I'm looking for them to have a big night tonight.
Brett, thoughts on the Nuge's game as of late? Everybody in this city, we love him. We've seen him every step of the way through his career. It's been a very down year, and that 36-goal, 100-point season does seem very far away from where we are at right now. Thoughts on the Nuge? Still playing center on that third line, and I guess you can bring Jeff Skinner into this too. What's your kind of thoughts on the alignment they've done?
Yeah, no, it's been a tough start for Nuge, but I think you also see the type of hockey player and NHLer that he is. He's a consummate pro, and you can tell that he can play top line minutes, third line minutes. Hell, you toss him on the fourth line too if you need.
Power play, PK.
Exactly what I was just going to say. Like, he's a versatile hockey player. If you need a guy to play, a smart player to play with Connor McDavid, put Ryan Nugent-Hopkins there. If you need depth down your lineup and somebody who can play center, win some draws for you, do this, that, and the other thing, be responsible in your own end, be able to carry the puck. You need somebody in the bottom 6. Ryan Nugent-Hopkins is the guy. So I'd say a lot at the start of the season going, oh, is this frustrating, waiting for something, enter whatever it is, to finally work itself out? Yes, absolutely. I don't think this is something frustrating to wait till it works out. This is just proving how good of a pro, an NHL hockey player that Ryan Nugent-Hopkins is. He's able to be, again, that guy you put on the first line, guy you put on the third line. I don't think it's something that we should be complaining about, really.
Swiss Army knife, jack of all trades. Master of some. It's a master of some, God damn it. That's my Nuge. Final buzzer's in. Nuge is perfect, and it's all going according to his secret plan. I love Oilers fans. Southpaw Nuge, coach's favorites. Gina, Nuge is goated. I swear I'm not biased. Gina, I know you too well to know that, but we all love the Nuge.
Well, and it also goes to, I cannot remember the name, Parker Kelly. It kind of goes back to, I don't know if you guys have seen this. It's from a couple of weeks ago, but it resurfaced recently. Parker Kelly, he blocked 5 shots on one shift. Bordzy, you know me. I love them shot blockers.
Great.
He blocked 5 shots in one shift. You can have in the tweet that's going around right now, not everybody can be Nathan McKinnon, but everybody can be a Parker Kelly. Everybody can have that work ethic. And it's the same with it, just going back to coach's favorite. That's the type of thing that Ryan Nugent-Hopkins is able to do. He's coach's favorite. He knows that he's playing for the team on the front. It doesn't matter where you're deploying him. He will, hypothetically, in this argument, block 6 shots or 5 shots, whatever it is. Whatever is the betterment for this team, he doesn't care what he's doing as long as it's for the betterment of the team. So I think it also kind of goes, you want a coach's favorite because that means they're doing something right. And that's Ryan Nugent-Hopkins.
Nathan ignored every word you said, and he said, "You Marlins."
Would it make you feel better? I'm a Dodgers fan.
No Dodgers jerseys. I should be banning Dodgers jerseys from the show. It does have my name on it. I think I have the power to do that. Taking a look at the opponent now. It's been an injury-plagued year already for these New York Islanders. Anthony Duclair went down in October. He was out 4 to 6 weeks. Then Matt Barzal goes down with an upper body injury, 4 to 6 weeks. Then Adam Pelech takes a puck to the face, and he's got a jaw injury. He is out 4 to 6 weeks. They are too pretty early in the season to be dealing with this many crucial injuries to your team, but they are still finding a way to tread water. 6-6-3 on the season. Good enough for 5th in the Metro in that perpetual bubble spot that I think the Islanders have been in for my entire life. It's either dog shit because they're paying Rick DiPietro $2 million a season, or they're battling here. We did say, Brett, did they make a conference finals once? No. Just second round?
They won that series against the Florida Panthers on the John Tavares wraparound, and that was their Stanley Cup.
There it is. So they're coming in 500. They dropped their most previous meeting against the Devils 4-3 in overtime on Saturday night. Now they have won 2 of their last 3, and I would say the key to it all, you look through their team, they don't have a single point per game player. The highest goals in the team is 6 Pangs. I think the one key has been the man in the crease with the helmet on in one, Ilya Sorokin. He's got a .916 save percentage, .252 goals against average. Another stellar year for him in the way the Islanders play, right? Kind of that, I'm going to say it, boring style hockey that does sometimes depend on your goaltender. He's been a key to a lot of their success this year.
Yeah, I mean, I'll be honest. I haven't watched a lot of Islanders games, but from what I know, he's a stellar top tier goaltender for sure.
Yeah, I believe he came second in Vezina voting in 22-23. Whenever Linus Ullmark won the Vezina, I know that Sorokin was in there. He had back-to-back above 920 seasons, and not a shocker that he's looking this way to start this year. Brett, let's go now to our need-to-know information, courtesy of our friends from Will Hawk Beef Jerky. Only the finest tasting meat products earn that Will Hawk name and that sick Will Hawk Beef Jerky logo. Horns up. I'm not even a Texas fan, but I'm going to say horns up because of Will Hawk Beef Jerky, made from 100% pure Alberta beef. Their jerky is aged, seasoned, marinated, and smoked to savory perfection. They gladly fill orders of any size. You can find their jerky, sausage, and other products exclusively out of their Leduc location. For more info, go to willhawkbeefjerky.com. I love my background vocals I got going tonight,
I gotta
boys.
say that beef jerky, since the Oilersnation tournament, golf tournament, that's all I can think about now is their beef jerky.
It gives me the shakes, but like in a good way. Like in a good
so
way.
Good.
Once
so
you go
good.
Wilhawk, you straight up never go back.
Yeah.
I can't eat any of that Jack Links. I can't eat any of that shit in the convenience store, gas station. That's
It's not
what I'm
real.
looking for.
It's not real.
It's not real.
No.
It's not real. Okay, so as I mentioned today, need no info. 1 year anniversary of Nobby since he came in, saved the day. Everybody say thank you. Everybody thank whatever God deity that you pray to. I pray to 97, so I'll thank him that he played in Erie with him. Since then, Nobby's coached 84 regular season games for the Oilers, 53, 25, and 6, which is the 5th best points percentage during that span. Over the past 3 years, the Oilers and Islanders have met 6 times, right? You mentioned it. I'll be honest with you, and I'll peel back the curtain. I don't watch a lot of New York Islanders hockey in my day-to-day, but I did do my research today. The Oilers just don't play them a lot. I feel like they play a boring style of hockey. Lou Lamoriello won't let the guys grow beards, so I'm not going to support that team. But in those most previous 6 matchups, neither team has lost at home. The last road win was 2019. And if you watched Oilers Nation every day today, you would know James Neal scored 4 goals in that last road victory against the Islanders, and Mikko Koskinen got the W as he had 25 saves.
Where was Jesse Joensuu?
Oh, dude, I love Joensuu. Good pull. Good pull. I still believe he's got size to make it in the NHL. I'm kidding. There are only 2 players that are above a point per game in their history against the New York Islanders. I'll let both of you guess who are those 2 players on the Edmonton Oilers.
Connor McDavid.
And Leon Draisaitl.
Shit.
Connor, he had 7 points in 6 games. Draisaitl has 4 goals and 9 points in 6 games. So we do like Leon to cook tonight. I mentioned they'll roll out the same lineup as they did on Saturday night. Troy Stetcher stays in with Darnell Nurse. Brett Kulak, who we will touch on in just a couple minutes because I'm taking my victory lap as a Kulak stan. Somebody in the chat recently said I was drinking the Kool-Aid. I am all in on whoever said that. And officially, Stuart Skinner will get the start this evening, coming off of a 17-save performance against the Vancouver Canucks. If you watched After Dark that night, Brett, we were both going off. Don't you dare box score hunt against Stuart Skinner for his numbers in that one, because numbers don't tell the tale in that game. He made big saves when he needed to. Just he was pissed at the end of the game. Yes, Brett.
I just wanted to say we have already settled on Podzilla. Could we go with the Cool Pod? You're smoking on the Cool Pod?
No. I didn't like that one. Why are we changing the pods? We like
No,
Podzilla.
it was
Just wanna
funnier.
add to the pod family.
It was better when we were, talking before. You kind of carried on before. And now it just,
Speaking of carrying on, let's go to the New York Islanders side of the need to know info. As I said, they're going to be without Barzell, they're going to be without Adam Pelech, and they're going to be without Anthony Duclair this evening, which is, 2 guys in the top 6, a top 4 defenseman on this team. That is tough to be dealing with, 15 games into the season so far. They've had a good start to November lately. They've grabbed points in 4 of 5 games. They've won 3 of those 5 games in November, with their only loss coming against the New York Rangers. This month, only the Jets, Wild, Panthers have gotten more points than these very New York Islanders. I blanked on their name. That was weird. Paul Horvat leads the team with points with 12 and 15 games. Kyle Palmieri also has 12. Palmieri, though, leads the team in goals with 6. Brock Nelson tied for that lead as well with 6. So nothing crazy, right, offensively. There's no one man that you can single out. However, we are going to single out one new guy later in the show. They've struggled special teams, 65.6 on the PK, 13% on the power play. Varlamov, he's been brutal, but we are going to get one. Ilya Sorokin tonight. He's had a great start, and against his career, or in his career against the Oilers, 3-3-0, 936 save percentage, and a 217 goals against average. So we're gonna have to be in tough tonight, go in deep here to try and find a way to score some goals this evening and up that goals for percentage. Let's go now to our Sherwood Ford Giant storyline, brought to you by Sherwood Ford the Giant. Tired of dealership hassles? Well, Sherwood Ford in Sherwood Park is all about convenience and upfront pricing with their Giant Deal program. Get clear, no nonsense pricing on new and used Fords online, with all incentives included. Plus, enjoy the ease of mobile service, free pickup and delivery, and same day or next day service appointments. I say this every show. Look outside right now. There might not be snow out there, but you can look out tomorrow morning and there'll be snow everywhere. Go get your winter tires changed over. And fun fact, Sherwood Ford will even store your summer tires for you. They'll do it all. You don't even have to drive a Ford to use that valet service or any of those things. Sherwood Ford, the Giant, for a reason. So throw them in the chat. If there's anything of a storyline that you are looking for this evening. I've said it ad nauseum. I'm going to say it one more time. It's special teams battle. That's something simply has to give tonight. And maybe I'm drinking the Kool-Aid again here, but I saw enough in the Oilers' last game against Vancouver on the power play to say, okay, these guys, this is when we're going to have the uptick and numbers right here. They just look right. Everybody's finding their spots, finding their chemistry. And I believe that tonight, that's going to be the difference. Somebody asked earlier in the chat, is this going to be an over game tonight? I think under, but I think the power play is going to be the difference this evening. Obviously, Stuart Skinner's got a duel with one Ilya Sorokin. That could be a storyline as well. Pangs, what are you looking for this evening?
You know what? Mr. Kulak, or should we talk about him right now?
You can do it. You can do it.
You know what? I think Mr. Kulak building off the game that he had last game. If you follow me on Twitter, I made a little compilation of his best moments. And the one thing that I'm really liking about Brett Kulak is just the way he's moving the puck. And against a team like the Islanders, who kind of play on the perimeter, I'm going to guess they play boring hockey. Against a team that plays boring hockey, when you got Brett Kulak that's transporting the puck and passing the puck, like he did to Leon Draisaitl, to Arvidsson for that goal last game, he could be a difference maker, just breaking if they do trap. I don't know. Again, we don't watch Islanders hockey, so
I'm just gonna guess. I'm just gonna guess with that. Brett, let's go through the lineup right now. Throw it up for the people just so they can see. Yeah, the Edmonton Oilers lineup: Skinner, McDavid, Hyman top line, Podzillo with Dry and Victor Arvidsson, Rico with Nuge and Brownie, Matthias Janmark with Derek Ryan, and one Corey Perry. On the decor, we got Ekholm and Bush, Nurse with Stetch, and Brett Kulak and Ty Emberson. Now, Brett Kulak stands everywhere. I hope you're taking your victory lap like I have been for the last week or two, because he's having the best offensive start to his career by far. He's got 4 goals, 6 points in 15 games played so far. He's second on the team in goals, which I'm sure that will not last, but I'm going to take my lap right now. He's seen an uptick in minutes over the last week and a half too as well. He's played over 20 minutes in 4 of his last 5 games. He's shooting the puck more. You mentioned his tape-to-tape crisp breakout passes, which was exactly that one to Draisaitl up to Arvidsson. There was a 5 foot, 4 foot quick closing gap that he had to hit. And I mean, Leon Draisaitl does have the biggest blade in the NHL. You got to hit that thing, but he did, and it was a beautiful play. He's jumping up in the rush. We saw him tip a puck home in front of the net in the blue paint. Now, is this something I think will last all season? Who knows? But I do really think Paul Coffey has had a severe influence on Brett Kulak's game. We've seen him for years. He was always a smooth skating defenseman that had a good enough shot, had a good enough hockey IQ. All of a sudden, you're seeing him jump up in the rush. We've always had those moments the last couple of years. You saw 7 coming down the ice. You thought it was 97. No, in fact, it was Brett Kulak. I'm loving his game right now, and that influence from Paul Coffey, I think, has been massive. Shots for when Brett Kulak's on the ice, 5v5, I believe this is, 141 to 99. He's got an expected goals for percentage of 60.3. He's got his career high was 6 goals in 2019. He's at 4 right now. Not going to say it because I love him that much, but you can imagine what I'm going to say. His career high, 21 points in 22. Is Brett Kulak going to smash both those records? And even if he doesn't with those offensive numbers, Brett Kulak, dare I say, is playing the best hockey of his career right now, which is saying something. And at $2.75 million a season, give me 6 Brett Kulaks on the back end and I can load up my forward group. That's a luxury I think every single team would beg to have. Brett Kulak is awesome. Pangs, your thoughts?
And like you said, the value that he brings, and there's a reason why when the Oilers were trying to shed salary that they kept Brett Kulak. I think we think the same way about him. He's not just a third pair, but he's doing that quasi second pair right now. And
he's playing with Darnell Nurse
exactly, and they're looking well doing that. So yeah, I'm liking what I'm seeing.
Brett, thoughts on our boy BK, the local boy? Stoney playing, right?
Yes.
Stoney playing. My first question to you: do you have any personal signed memorabilia to you that has your name on it? Oh wait, that's me from Brett Kulak. Oh my God, that's right. Your thoughts, Brett?
Well, if you do need to know, you need to see my basement, but that's okay. No, you hit the nail right on the head. Like, he is. I don't want to say a perfect defenseman because you want to sit there and go, oh, perfect defenseman is a guy who can go and score X amount of points, blah, blah, blah. But he is a perfect defenseman. He understands the role and the job description, and he goes out there and he does it. It's just I don't know what else can be said more than what you guys already have, other than he's just every team in the NHL would love a Brett Kulak with his consistency, with the way he works hard for a puck. He's very smart. He's able to move the puck. He can shoot the puck. Man, can he blister the pill, man. I think he's just the perfect defenseman, exactly what you want on a team. Like, if you're a team like Columbus or a team with a weaker defensive core, he's going to be your number one defenseman. That's not what he is. He is a prototypical second pairing, smart third pairing defenseman. And the Oilers have him in the perfect spot, use him in a perfect way. And he's able to do what we've seen in the last couple of weeks, just absolutely excel.
I see McKine drives in. He said Kulak should get up on the second line now. But that's something we touched on. His uptick in minutes lately. Darnell's had an uptick in minutes lately. They're swapping sides. They're just being athletes out there on the ice fighting Amish. Kulak is playing with confidence, and it shows. Mr. Burns is also in and said, lol, you guys are in a fun mood tonight, even more than usual. That's the Pangs energy that he brings here. It's what we get with Pangs. We're going to have it more. Also, it's a good night tonight. We're going to have a good night tonight. I'm feeling, also this, people, I love you all. Stop talking about Cody Ceci and Philip Broberg in these chats all the time. That was then. This is now. We have to move on. We have to turn the page. The only reason we're not seeing Holloway and Broberg in the chat lately is because they're injured. We got to move on. We're talking Kulak. We're not talking Cody Ceci right now.
If I could say one thing, and I know we're bringing it back to that Broberg part, the way Kulak was transporting the puck yesterday or last game and skating, he did remind me of the way that Philip Broberg moves the puck.
Am I crazy, or is the Brett Kulak the Nuge of defensemen?
Yeah,
I was literally,
100%, right?
As I was talking, I was actively going to say he's just like Nuge, but on the D. That's hilarious. So yes, I agree.
McKine drives in and he said, energy is the nation beer kicking in, plus being in the wake of the Canucks. You know what? Shout him out right now, Brett. Nation beer everyday lager, courtesy of our friends from Odd Company for game day and every day. They do go down smooth. That might be what's in my blue cup right now, but you'll never know because you're not pregame with Bordzy like Pangs is right now. Pangs, we're going to have you try one of these later tonight. Absolutely. Give your taste test review on Oilersnation After Dark. People, you can pick these up 2 locations, and they're Odd Company locations in the Edmonton area, or liquorconnect.com, where you can buy a full-on keg of this stuff. So if you want to get crazy with it, you want to get nuts, let's get nuts. Continuing along here, let's talk 97 now, right? Because he's a guy that's tough to ever critique or criticize, because I don't even want to use those words. I'm not telling him what to do. I'm maybe recommending things. Obviously, I cannot do what 97 can on the ice, but it does kind of feel like he's been given a little bit of a pass this season, that he's maybe not at elite 97 levels. Now, yes, he is coming back from injury, and he came back ridiculously fast. I said he heals like Wolverine. He's got adamantium running through his bones. But the last couple of games, I mean, he had 3 points against Canucks. Yes, I know. Now, some of those came near the end of the game when it was a little bit over. But hey, you got stats are stats. Stats are facts, as people always say in the chat here. And I also understand, I don't want to call him pedestrian, right? Because 13 points in 12 games, that is not very pedestrian. But for Connor McDavid levels, I don't know. Let me bounce this off you, right? Because he hasn't been making those game-breaking, end-to-end 97 plays that we go, oh my God, how did he do that? But he has been dealing with that injury. He's 5 points away from 1,000 in his career. And obviously, I know he doesn't care about that, but I do. I feel like this could be a perfect game. He just had 3 against the Canucks. You get the Isles tonight. The power play could just get going. You get another couple point night. Then the whole next pre-gaming could be about Mick 1,000, or Saturday night against the Maple Leafs in Toronto. That would be pretty sick. If you ask me. There you get a look at the Oilers point leaders this season. But my point being, I feel like these couple games here, Vancouver and then the Oilers, this could be the get right spot for McDavid. They're missing Barzal. They're missing Duclair. They're missing Pelech. They have a terrible PK. Is this a spot where Connor McDavid gets a rolling like we know 97 can do?
I think to follow up his dirty toe drag on the power play where he fed it to Nuge last game, I think that's vintage Connor
that's
McDavid.
true. That's true.
I think he's feeling it. And like you said, after that 3-point night, his confidence is high. He's looking at that New York Islanders roster and he's like, baby, it's points night. So in truth, the greats of the game have that level that they raise, to be great. And he's 5 points away and he can do it in an epic fashion tonight. And perhaps I'm going to say he gets it tonight. I'm going to say he gets it tonight.
I don't know. Cause who do we got on Thursday? Why am I blanking? Somebody let me know. Nashville. That's Dry's team. That can't be Connor's team. That's Dry's team. So either tonight or Saturday against the Maple Leafs. Speaking of Leon Draisaitl, this was some pretty crazy numbers that I read today in Jason Greger's game day breakdown. Go check it out. Oilersnation.com. Pang's got articles up there. Bag Milk's got articles up there. Liam did the game notes today. Go check them out. They'll give you everything you need to know to get you ready. But Leon Draisaitl currently has the second best. What is SF percentage? Why am I blanking on that? Shots for percentage among forwards. Second best in the NHL, 63.87%. When he's on the ice, the Oilers are out shooting their opponents 152 to 86. That is insane. His line mates helping him get there, Arvidsson and Podkolzin. They both rank top 5 in shots for percentage. And I believe in 82 minutes they've skated together. Yeah, they've outshot opponents 59 to 35. They have created a lot lately. They've been snake bitten at points. We saw him cooking up a little bit. Maybe it fell off for a little couple games. Maybe not fell off is the right word to even say, but that play, Kulak up to Draisaitl, up to Victor Arvidsson, doesn't even think about it, rips it on net, bang, you score the goal. That's something I'm looking for more here for the second line because clearly these numbers tell you they have been cooking. They have been getting their chances. Much like the rest of the roster, they've just had a tough time finishing. Maybe that's going to finally start to happen. And Arvidsson is a guy specifically that I am looking at to start finishing these chances.
Yeah, that goal that Kulak, Draisaitl to Arvidsson and him sniping from a distance is something he's been wanting to do all season, and it finally came. So, yeah, from here on out, I anticipate Mr. Arvidsson's going to start potting them a little bit more regularly.
Every single day, it feels like on Oilers Nation every day. Jay bets on Vasily Podkolzin to score a goal. Has yet to happen so far this season. So let me ask you, Pangs, does he bury tonight? Plus 550 on Bet365.
You know what? I think because he has a kind of a Russian counterpart on the other team that's kind of like him, he's going to say, yeah, you know what? I'm going to produce tonight. So, yeah, let's go with it.
Brett, I know what you're going to say, but say it anyways.
No.
You can't throw me a curveball like that. You throw me a knuckleball, brother.
No, I don't think you will. And again, kind of you guys talked about it on O&E. It's kind of the curse. It'll be the day that Jay doesn't bet on Vasily Podkolzin get the goal, and he will score. So no, it's not.
Yeah, I haven't bet on Pods all season to score a goal yet.
I did last game, and well,
yeah, we know how that went. Another weird thing I want to touch on is why can't the Edmonton Oilers win consistently on home ice this season? I don't understand it. They're 2-5-1 on Rogers Place ice this year. After last year, they had the third best home record in the entire NHL. They went 28-9-4 last season. Let me repeat, 2-5-1 right now. They have 15 goals in 8 games on home ice this season. 8 of those 15 goals came in 2 games against the Penguins and the Philadelphia Flyers. Their PK, shockingly, is even worse at home. It's currently 56% on Rogers Place ice. They've allowed 10 goals on 23 kills. Home crowd hasn't had a whole lot to cheer about this season, but I'm thinking tonight we're going to turn those things around. But it's a stark contrast to last year where the power play was destroying well above 30%. Every number was improved. Skinner was better on home ice. The PK was better on home ice. And that makes sense when you have your home crowd behind you and you get to sleep in your own bed. Pangs, I have no answer for why this has happened. The only thing I can say is A huge divisional win on the road against Vancouver, I think fired up the fans as well. And it gave us something to go, okay, all right, this is the TSN turning point. This is where it gets rolling. So I do expect the fans to have some energy to start this game, but they got to win on home ice, dude.
Yeah, in my top tier hockey analysis, I'm going to blame the DJ. He hasn't played Shania Twain yet this
Dude,
year.
I am great buddies with the DJ. I'm gonna send him a text.
Okay,
I'll put
I'm just kidding.
Hey,
I'm
Bo,
just-
fix your game.
No, I'm just kidding. I don't know what it is. You kind of blame that Stanley Cup hangover, but I try to dig into that mindset a little bit more. You know, you and I will never know what it feels like to be at the game of your dreams, 2 goals
Speak
away.
for yourself, brother. What are you talking
Well,
about?
I mean,
Don't put me in the box.
I played many beer league finals, yes, but we'll never know, right? And to get channel that mindset of like 2 goals away from like getting your dream to playing the New York Islanders on a November Tuesday, right? The feeling isn't there. So hopefully, like you said, I think them playing their division rivals, Vancouver Canucks, in a commanding win is the turning point. I feel that.
I also got to call a quick timeout right now. Breaking news coming in. That's my breaking news sound. We got new lines for the Edmonton Oilers this evening. Tony Brar just tweeted 1 minute ago. Top line, Ryan Nugent-Hopkins with Connor McDavid and Zach Hyman. Second line, Vasily Podkolzin with Leon Draisaitl, Victor Arvidsson. Third line, Matthias Janmark with Adam Henrique and Connor Brown. Jeff Skinner will play on the fourth line with Derek Ryan and Corey Perry. Decor about to stay the same. This is my favorite part about pre-gaming. You spend that many minutes talking about the Oilers, then they, bam, throw a grenade right in front of you in the middle of the show. Initial reaction pangs to RNH, McDavid, and Hyman being brought back together, but the most shocking part looking at this right now is Skinner, Ryan, Perry. One of those things is not like the over or the other. Your initial thoughts, Pangs?
I think here's the question that I asked earlier is where does Jeff Skinner fit in this lineup? And apparently tonight it's the fourth
Imagine
line.
Kane was back. Where does he fit in this
Right?
lineup?
And you know what, though? I did notice when he played on the fourth line with Perry and Ryan, they actually had some good cycling chances last game. So maybe that's something that Knobloch's seeing. But unfortunately that's unfortunate for Jeff Skinner to not get an extended look on that top line there.
Yeah, I mean, I like the idea of going back to Nuge, McDavid, Hyman. I said earlier in the show, I like how Nobby continued to stick with Podzilla, Draisaitl, and Victor Arvidsson, even when they weren't looking good at points, because you got to give them a runway. And I thought Jeff Skinner maybe deserved some of that runway, but it's always been in Nobby we trust, and it always will be in Nobby we trust. So let us process that, and we'll move along now to our starting goaltender report, brought to you by Sherwood Power Sports and Marine. Hit the trails this winter and the waves next summer. As fellow hockey fans, the team at Power Sports and Marine are helping Oilers Nation fans gear up their home of an ATV for just $50 bi-weekly, or cruise the open water next summer for as low as $105 bi-weekly. When they put it like that, $105 bi-weekly to get a boat, we can all pool our money together and we can have a boat this summer called the Pre-Gaming Boat. Fish and wildlife, stay off the boat. Sure, Power Sports, Marine, or hockey fans helping hockey fans get ready for their next adventure with motorcycles, quads, e-bikes, and boats. Brett, pull it up here for me. Tell the tape. Goaltender comparison between these two. Ilya Sorokin, 4-3-2 record, 2.52 goals against with a .916 save percentage. Those are good numbers. Now we've got Stuart Skinner, 4-5-1, 3.25 goals against with an .883. He does have a shutout, though. Those are very pedestrian numbers, might say. Skinner, he gets the start right. He's been much improved over the last 2 weeks, as I said. Don't you dare box score hunt about that game in Vancouver, because I thought Stu was solid. But the one thing that stood out to me in that game, did you see his reaction at the end of the game, smashing his stick against his post in a 7-3 victory? Now, I've been torn about this because there's been some people online and in the chat, and hey, opinions, I'm going to say this, opinions are like assholes. Everybody has one of them. So you got to get it out there. But I don't know, man. They were upset that in a 7-3 game, he looked frustrated in that it's a team game. It's a team game. Well, you got to apply that same logic when he's playing bad and the PK in front of him is playing bad. You got to say it's a team game. It's a team game because Skinner is the scapegoat at points. And I like that he takes pride in his stats, in his game. He's a prideful guy. He's a competitor. He's an NHL goaltender. Did you read anything into it? There was people saying he was mad at Bouchard for the penalty he took at the end of the game. I think he was just pissed he allowed a goal and he didn't have a great save percentage.
I absolutely love that from Stuart.
Why would
Skinner,
you not like that?
Because last playoffs when he got the yank against Vancouver, he was really calm, collected still, and even the post game is just like, well, I need to be better. We haven't really seen that type of emotion from Stuart Skinner. We really haven't. And if that's the catalyst to kind of kickstart him to getting on to improving, I love it. I love it.
He's a guy who, say what you want about him, he always bounces back. That is something I will stand on my soapbox and scream that to everybody. I also laugh Southpaw. Brett, we have a yellow in the goalie comparison column. Sound the alarms, brother. That's our new breaking news sound. Every time I get breaking news, Brett, I want you to do that. Even if you're not producing, I'm gonna get that on my phone. I can just play it right here. You guys hear that? We got breaking news. Also, Ilya Sorokin, he's on the other side. We touched on him. He's very good. Oilers are going to be in tough to try and score this evening. Close it out. Let's take a peek at the New York Islanders lineup brought to you by Greta Bar Yeg, my favorite watering hole in the entire city. Arcade, bar, street food. They have literally got it all. It's a great spot for pre and post game. We're going to be there all season long for our watch parties. Pangs, you came to the party we had in October. Did you have a good time?
Great time. I can't like the Wheelhawk beef jerky. I can't stop thinking about their Wagyu burger there.
What a sponsor guy right here, man. Look at that. He threw in two right there.
Company man.
Ad read, brother. Take that. Weekly drink specials, great street food menu, and of course, games in the arcade. Let's take a look now at the New York Islanders projected lineup this evening. Top line, Anders Lee with Bo Horvat and JG Pageau. Maxime
Slipikov
with Brock Nelson and Kyle Palmieri, Pierre Engvall with Casey Zizekas and Simon Holmstrom, Matt Martin with Kyle McLean and Oliver Wahlstrom, Decor, Scott Mayfield with Ryan Pulak, Isaiah George with Noah Dobson and Dennis Cholowski. I'm going to try that with Grant Hutton on the third pairing. So we only got a couple minutes here left. So I want to talk about the man whose last name I cannot properly pronounce. But Pangs, I asked you before the show if there's anything you wanted to touch on, and you gave us some similarities from this guy to another fan favorite on the Edmonton Oilers right now, who, Brett, you might have a type for these kind of guys. Tell me more about Maxime
Slipikov.
Thank you.
They signed him last year, 26-year-old Russian, playing in the KHL for most of his career. He's 6'3", 215 pounds. He's a Russian tank, and he leads the team and all rookies in hits, and he's on the second line, which is like very comparable to Podkolzin. Russian tank, makes plays, hits, leads the team. And I checked it. Slipikov has some decent fights in the KHL. I'm not saying these two are going to fight each other, but it'd be pretty cool if they did.
Me and Brett earlier today were talking about these two dudes dropping the gloves on the ice and how sick that would be. Brett, you what do you know about this guy? You even mentioned it in a video earlier today on our socials. Tell me about him.
Yeah, no, so I don't know too much about him. He really intrigues me. That was mostly what I knew about Slipikov, was that signed last year, 26-year-old, first year in the NHL. Kind of a tough guy, but also like at the start of the fantasy year was an under the radar guy to kind of watch out for. So I've been watching a little bit of him as well. I think he has 2 goals, 7 assists or something like that. So some interesting guy to watch. Again, you say I have a type. I certainly have a type. And boy, am I going to keep my eyes on one Slipikov.
My player to watch.
Slipikov.
Today's a good day, boys. I'm in a good mood. Everything's going well. Hopefully it continues that way later this evening. It'd be a real shame if I wasn't this happy on After Dark later tonight. One guy we also got to talk about, Noah Dobson, is one of those elite up-and-coming defenseman in the NHL. He's dominant. He currently averages over 25 minutes a night. He's only got 6 assists so far this season. Last year, he had 10 goals and 60 assists for 70 points in 79 games played. He's projected to be on that bubble for the Team Canada Four Nations roster, much like a guy who was a point-per-game defenseman last season in one Evan Bouchard. But Dobson, I haven't got to watch him a lot this year. I did read some things on Reddit today. Now, it could just be Islanders fans doing what we do to Darnell Nurse and Evan Bouchard, but they were saying he hasn't been as good this year. I looked at his numbers. Only 6 apples, but you're playing 25 minutes a night. You got to be doing something right. 6'4", just under 200 pounds, I do believe. He's got an engine that'll keep him going all night long. And Panger, I expect him to probably be on the ice with 97. Any chance the Islanders can. Obviously, Oilers' last change this evening. Thoughts on Noah Dobson in general? Is he going to make Team Canada?
From other hockey analysis that I hear, yes.
This is the only analysis you need, brother.
Yeah, you know what? I think so. I'll ask you this: who'd you take, Noah Dobson or Evan Bouchard?
Evan Bouchard.
Yeah.
Evan Bouchard, through and through. I believe in him. I saw it in the NHL playoffs. He can play both sides of the ice, just whether or not he wants to do it. But I know when he wants to do it, he is capable, and you can't put a price on what Evan Bouchard can do offensively. The only other quarterback like him is Cale Makar. Maybe Quinn Hughes, and I'm still not putting Quinn Hughes. He's a better overall defenseman. Do not get me wrong, but power play quarterback. Brett, your thoughts?
You also seemingly can't put a price on what he can't do defensively as well. So it seems like we're in a little bit of a pickle.
What did I say about bringing me down? What did I say? He's just looking at the camera. I'd also ask around, Brett, player to watch mine this evening. Bring the lineup back up for me right now.
You know what?
I'll take that too. I'll stare at that face as well. But look at this, this offensive core. Anders Lee, Bo Horvat, Brock Nelson, Palmieri, JG Pageau. Those are good players, but that is not I think, playoff bound top 6. It doesn't scream overwhelming talent, and it's missing 2 dudes in Matt Barzal and Anthony Duclair that you would expect to be there putting in points. For me, looking at this, I'm going to say Bo Horvat. He's tied for the team lead in points right now. He is on my fantasy team, so that might be a reason there as well. But he knows this Oilers team, right? Like, he's played, I looked it up earlier today, 40 career games against the Oilers. 29 career points in that stretch. He knows this team. I'm sure he will be a one battling a 97 in Connor McDavid. Brett, when you look at this, who's your player to watch this evening?
Well, we already kind of spoke about Siplikov, so I'm not going to kind of beat a dead horse with that one as well. I'm going to watch out for Matty Martin. Everybody knows about Matt Martin. He's an absolute dog and was a part of one of the best fourth lines. Part of one of the best fourth lines this past 10, 15 years for the Islanders with Cizikas and I can't remember. Clutterbuck. There we go. Thank you. Great fourth line. And but it's something that we talk about a lot, that Edmonton wins a lot when they have a fight. Matty Martin's pretty good at one thing in hockey, and that's fighting. So how much is he going to kind of raise some hell a little bit? What is he going to do? How is he going to be effective in this game? Is he going to run somebody that causes some concern, causes for some sort of retaliation? What are we going to do if he starts going at people? I really am interested to see how Matt Martin kind of impacts this game and how Edmonton reacts to his impact.
Corey Perry, sick him, brother. Go get him. You fight fire with fire. It's also funny, not funny, but when you think about it, of like 2 teams like this, you play twice a year, you don't know anything about each other, you don't have much of a rivalry. It's always like, how will they get under the skin of the other team when there isn't that much predetermined emotion, I guess you could say. Let's go now. Time for Bordzy's Bankroll, brought to you by Bet365. Proud partner of Pre-Gaming with Bordzy. Open an account with Bet365 today and bet on a huge range of markets. Whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365. Download the app today and use the code NATION, all capitals, nation. But before that, Time out, everybody. We got a super chat. Liam Orban's in. And he says, Cup year. Cabs here. Cups here. Let's pull it up here for me, Brett. My 3 options this evening. My first one, this is a parlay together because you can same game parlay on Bet365. One of the many reasons they are the elite gaming website. I'm going oil money line and under 6. I don't think there's going to be a number of goals scored here. I've mentioned those offensive numbers. Would I like a breakthrough? Yes. Really have no reason statistically to think that's going to happen. Ilya Sorokin is an elite goaltender in this league. It's going to be tough to score tonight, but I do like the Oilers to win. Second one. This is wishful thinking, baby. 29, 1+ power play point. Nice and juicy at plus 185. He would have had a power play goal had there been a couple seconds left on the clock Saturday night against Vancouver. And as I've said repeatedly, I saw enough from that power play to believe that with the lacking numbers for the Islanders PK, the Oilers can score one tonight. Yes, we can. Final one, number 18, Hyman to get on the board anytime goal. He has 3 goals, 6 points in his last 5 games. Power play's heating up. He's heating up. The puck luck for him has been heating up. Remember that one? Just went off the stanchion, popped right in front of him, in front of Aiden Hill. Those are the goals he was not getting throughout the start of the season. They're starting to roll. I like Hyman. And as I said, 3 goals in his last 5 games. It's a perfect storm. Panger, you look at these 3 bets. Which one of these do you like the most?
Hyman. I'm going with Hyman.
Nice and simple. Put your stick on the ice. I think tonight could be a greasy way to do it. As I said, I don't think a lot of goals. Brett, thoughts, feelings, passions?
A couple, but that's different. I think dry power play point because I also included it in a little bit of a 7 leg. So I'm
didn't Spider?
Yeah, no, one sure. Actually,
Spider's an 8-leg parlay for those who need to know. It's got 8 legs.
It's a 5-fold, so no, can't do that. But yes, I think power play point for Leon. You kind of talked me into it because I said to you today, I don't think Edmonton's going to score a power play point. I don't think they'll score on the power play. Kind of talked me into it, so I'm going with a dry stencil power play point.
Sorry, did my mic's cut out there? I also see in here, Gina said, Aaron, surprised you didn't bet it on a Kulak goal. Also, Mikhail Dry pulls it out. Why doesn't Bet365 want to give Kulak some love? I can't bet on a Kulak goal. I can't even bet on a Kulak point. Take my money, Bet365. I'd love to ride with my boy, Brett Kulak. Final question I will give out. Think of your anytime goal scorers and your score predictions because first, Brett, I got to give some love to Jasper Minor Hockey. Get a load of this. Woo. Check out these shirts for the love of the game. Bears Hockey help support Jasper Minor Hockey. We've been talking about this a lot lately. Our shirts finally came in. Don't even try to tell me I don't look good wearing this shirt right now, okay? Because on July 24th, 2024, a wildfire devastated the town of Jasper, destroying almost 30% of all structures. As they rebuild, hockey remains a lifeline for kids to stay active, connected, and most importantly, resilient. Season's going to bring crazy challenges. Rink is out of commission. Players have to travel crazy long distances for practices. They got to play over 30 away games this season and manage with straight up limited facilities all over the place. We know this. I've said this a lot. You can buy these shirts, gray, black, crew neck, or t-shirt. The logo is sick.
It's sick.
They hide my belly, so that's also nice as well. You can get them at nationgear.ca. Support Jasper Minor Hockey. Because as we've mentioned and I talked about, normally they would fundraise in the town with all these businesses in the town, but those businesses themselves are trying to rebuild financially. They can't really afford to do it. So this was an awesome partnership and a no-brainer. And I know a lot of you guys in this chat have already bought your shirts. So I love you and I appreciate you also. Pretty sick Christmas gift. You can help out Jasper and tell your loved ones that you do, in fact, love them. Pangsy, score prediction, anytime goal scorer. Pangsy and Bordzy.
Just anybody?
Why have I never said that?
Just anybody to score?
Yeah.
Nuge. I gotta go with Nuge. He got the elevated to the top line last minute. He's ready to go tonight.
And score prediction, do you got one?
As I did say, McDavid is gonna have a 5.9. Let's go 6-2.
So the over in that world, Brett, now your turn.
So here's the thing. I have 4-1 as I do on Oilers Nation socials. But in my parlay, I also added a skin dog goal. And that was before the
That was
changes.
a bad call. You better cash that one out.
So I'm going to stick by my laurels and say Jeff Daddy.
Yeah.
Skin dog.
He ends the game back on the top line.
Yeah. Please,
He's
please,
going everywhere.
please.
For me, I'm going to say a 3-1 Edmonton Oilers W, in which Zach Hyman will score a power play goal, getting real specific here, assisted by Leon Draisaitl, so that my 2 bets cash on the second half. And if it's 3-1, that's a money line, and that's an under. Can you tell I'm trying to speak this into existence? I love you all. Thank you for watching. We'll be live right here on the Oilers Nation YouTube channel right after the game. Bordzy, Pangsy, Bordzy. That didn't really work, but I'm going to roll with that anyways. Big shouts out to our sponsors. Short for the Giant, Short Power Sports Marine, Greta Bar Yeg, Bet365, Odd Company, Willock Beef Jerky, and go help out Jasper Minor Hockey. Throw your courtesy light down on your way out and get in the chat, the After Dark chat during the game. I love watching you guys freak out, and it's just like you just watch the whole game up and down and relive it through the chat. It's fantastic, and I wish you all good luck on the Bet365 Battlegrounds this evening. Peace out, everybody.